More than 70 years ago, archaeologists made a discovery that surprised the entire academic world. Among the ancient writings found in caves near the Dead Sea, there was one document that looked completely different from the rest. Most ancient texts were written on fragile materials like parchment or papyrus. But this one was not. It was carved into thin sheets of metal. The message was written on copper, which made it extremely unusual. Over time, the metal had become so stiff and brittle that experts had to carefully cut it into pieces just to read the words. When the text was finally translated, scholars realized that this was not a normal religious manuscript. Instead, it appeared to describe hidden treasure locations. The document listed dozens of places where gold, silver, and valuable objects were supposedly buried. It gave specific details about valleys, caves, and ruins. It even included measurements and directions in some sections. This made it sound like a real treasure map. But unlike modern maps, the descriptions were written in ancient language and referred to places that had changed over thousands of years. Some landmarks no longer existed. Others could not be clearly identified. This created immediate confusion among historians. Was this an actual record of hidden wealth? Or was it something symbolic that people had misunderstood? When American scholars began studying copies and translations of the scroll, the debate grew stronger. Researchers carefully compared the clues in the document with ancient geography. They tried matching the instructions to real-world locations using historical records and maps. Some believed the treasure might have belonged to an ancient temple and was hidden to protect it during times of war. According to this theory, the document could have been created by people who wanted to save valuable items from being destroyed by invading armies. If that were true, the scroll would not just be a mystery, it would be evidence of a desperate effort to protect history. However, not everyone agreed with that idea. Many experts pointed out that the text was extremely difficult to follow. Some parts seemed clear, while others were confusing or open to interpretation. The instructions sometimes lacked enough detail to confirm a precise location. Because of this, some scholars believe the scroll might not describe real treasure at all. Instead, it could have been written as a symbolic document, possibly used for religious or ceremonial purposes. Others suggested it might have been a secret record created by a small group of people, written in a way that only they could understand. Another major question was whether the scroll was the original document or simply a copy of something even older. If it was a copy, then the original version could have contained clearer information that is now lost forever. This possibility made the mystery even more complicated. Without the original source, researchers could only analyze what remained. And even with modern technology, no confirmed treasure has ever been discovered from the locations mentioned in the scroll. Over the years, explorers and historians continued studying the document. Some teams attempted to interpret the measurements more carefully. Others re-examined translations to see if earlier scholars had made mistakes. Every new theory created fresh excitement, but none of the ideas produced physical proof. No large hidden vaults of gold were found. No confirmed ancient treasure matching the scroll's descriptions has ever been recovered. This lack of evidence kept the debate alive. The reason this mystery remains so fascinating is because of what it represents. If the scroll is telling the truth, then it could lead to one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in history. The idea that enormous wealth could still be buried somewhere, waiting to be found, captures people's imagination. But if the scroll is not literal, then it still tells an important story about ancient beliefs, survival, and secrecy. Either way, it gives historians valuable insight into the past. Today, the Copper Scroll continues to be studied in universities and research institutions around the world. Scholars still analyze its language, compare its details with archaeological findings, and debate its true meaning. New technology may one day provide clearer answers. Until then, the mystery remains open. Was it a genuine treasure list hidden for protection? Was it a symbolic record misunderstood over time? Or was it simply an ancient puzzle that was never meant to be fully solved? Even after decades of investigation, no verified treasure has been found, and no location has been confirmed. The strange copper document still stands as one of the most unusual and debated artifacts connected to ancient history. And somewhere within its carefully carved lines, the answer to this mystery may still be waiting to be understood.